Hey folks, Kilt-Man here, Kilt-Man at your services. How are you all? We're all doing very, very well. Welcome to the apologies segment of the show, where once again, Kilty is compelled to apologise for the lack of videos lately. It ain't your fault, it's entirely my fault. Because it's Christmas and I've been ooting the boot and putting it a boot every night. I know I said it a while ago that I wasn't getting the Christmas spirit at all, but that was over a week ago, and the week that's just gone, yeah, the vibe walloped me with festive spirit. And I've been out and having lots and lots of chaotic renegade fun, as you'd expect. But it took a toll on the channel. I haven't done any of the videos I've been planning to do. And some of you guys know what was being planned. And it's still going to happen. Rest assured it's going to happen. I put little cryptic clues out on the community section of YouTube, which I barely ever use. I gave a little clue as to what I was going to do a big Kilted review of. A cult 70s movie which combines the occult with road chase action movie. Yeah, you know what it is already. And everyone did guess it. I'm not very good at making clues. I'm good at deciphering clues, but I'm not very good at actually delivering clues and trying to be whisker twirlingly nefarious. No, you all got it. Now, as you guys also know, there is a curse that afflicts me every time I kind of give an advance warning about a video I'm going to do. Something will happen and it gets in the way. And then once that obstacle's been breached, another one, then another one, then another one. So every time, and this time I thought I was being clever. I won't say what it is, I'll just give some couple of clues. No, the curse still impacted. So that video is going to come, if not later on today, then certainly tomorrow. How many times have you heard that now? But it is coming. So what am I going to talk about right now? Well, the new addition to the Kilted fashion repertoire. I'm going to show you something now which I've been after for a long, long time. And I grew up with these jackets. It's a Hussar's jacket. You're going to see it in all its glory in a minute. Made famous, of course, by Adamant in the early 80s and Jimi Hendrix a decade before. But also made famous by the Hussars themselves. Huzzah! It's a very resplendent bit of kit. And as I say, I've wanted one for a long, long time. And I did grow up with them in my mum and dad's house. Of course, big kilt papa, military historian, collector of militaria, suits of armour, tunics, spears, helmets, buckles, badges, belts, everything. Machine guns, Luftwaffe, propellers, everything was in that house. And he had genuine Hussars jackets. Now, which were Napoleonic. Now the thing about these is, and I can testify to this, I'm a short arse, as the picture and the thumbnail clearly will bestow upon you. Look at me, a little tiny man compared to all those revelers behind me. And but back in the Napoleonic era and then the Victorian era, men in Blighty must have been very, very small and compact little units. I'm not saying they weren't big bruisers out there amongst the big pugilists, but most rank and file were a lot smaller than they are today, because those tunics that my dad had, they wouldn't even fit me when I was a kid. They were still too tight and you couldn't fasten them. So you're thinking like, are they shrunk? But they hadn't. That's exactly how they were. My dad preserved them and all that, so he knew what he was doing. So there were a lot of little people around in the armed forces back in those days. Little midget warfare taking place. And I thought that I'd rescued a couple of those jackets from my mum and dad's house. Obviously they've now passed on, but we all took bits and bobs and memorabilia. And but no, having searched the house from top to bottom, and I don't think the mansion spook has not took it. I don't think I ever did take them with me. So, and either way, they're too small to be worn. And you know, I like to wear these things. You know, I go out in really old, archaic tunics and battle fatigues, which have been through blood, snot, and chaos. And someone say, well, that's disrespectful. I don't believe that. I think because when I wear some of these old vintage clothing, fatigues, it promotes conversation. So I can then relive battles and regiments and the history of all these things, for, a captive audience usually. And I think it bleeds into the past, into the future. And it just gives people a bit of a history lesson. And me for a chance to waffle on endlessly. So anyway, You're all saying, well, where's his fucking tunic then? Haha! I did not buy the tunic version. I realised the company who made this, they do the sleeved jacket version. Very accurate as well, very accurate. With all the golden braid and all that, and all the fabulous bronze buttons and all brass, bronzy, gold, let's call them gold buttonage. They look resplendent and they're very accurate with all the embroidery as well. Well, I realised they do a vest version. You can still fasten it all the way up, but it's sleeveless. And you know me, even though I'm getting older, one does like the guns, doesn't one? And so I thought I'll go for the vest version. And another reason for that is because in the film Furiosa, the Mad Max offshoot, you've got Chris Hemsworth playing Dr. Dementis. And yes, you guessed it, he wears a sleeveless Hussar vest with all the golden braid and all the buttons and all that. He also wears leather pants and a big studded codpiece with a teddy bear stuffed down it. I haven't gone quite that far, but I thought, I love Adamant, I love Jimi Hendrix, I love military history, and I love Dr. Dementis. So it kills a lot of birds with one stone. So here it is, for your edification. It's behind me here. Feast your eyes upon this. Now, with it being Christmas, in my local, in the cask, all the deckies are up and there's a very sparkly Christmas tree. I outshone that because this arrived, I think, 3 days ago now, and I've worn it every damn day. And I love it. I mean, I don't want to take it off. I want to go to bed in it. I genuinely love this. I'll take you on a tour of it. There's the back. Yes, lovely embroidery on the back. Lovely stitching around the base of the vest. It's identical to the jacket version. It just doesn't have any sleeves. The sleeves are also elaborately embroidered as well. But you've got a nice stiff neck collar. Beautiful. All the, the braiding on the shoulders. And of course, all of this elaborate buttonage. And it's great. Now, I'll be honest, these buttons, I've worn this 3 consecutive nights now. No, hang on. I wore it Friday and I went to Liverpool town centre. I went to revisit all my old haunts. I just felt like I'm going to town, literally. And I went to town in a kilt, obviously, and this. And yeah, wow. It was fun. Not quite as much fun as I thought it was going to be. My Freedom Fridays of yore, of legend, of myth, I'm too old for them now. So I did come home at a very sort of respectable hour, as in I got the last bus back home. Instead of staying out till 4:30, 5 in the morning, which I would usually have done pre-lockdown. That's what I was doing on a regular basis. You guys know that. And anyway, but I wore this and yeah, it caught the eye. Same as the kilt, same as the hair, same as, the rather blotchy Santa Claus, crimson-cheeked vision that appeared before every bar in town, demanding whiskies, and plenty of them, forthwith. Being as that was the 12th of December, so you mentioned whiskey, and now I reach for, well, Jack Daniels. Yeah, well, it's alright, a bit of Jack. It's okay now and again. Cheers, y'all. Demanding whiskies aplenty, and then realising, Christ almighty, how expensive it was in town, because I've not been to town for a long time. And the 12th of December is the busy, well, that second Friday of December is always the busiest night in town, because everyone's having their office works dues, their parties, their, all the revelry. Everyone thinks, oh, it'll be the following Friday, just before Christmas, that'll be the worst one. So they all go out the one before. So that's the busiest one of all. But that said, town was chock-a-block, but I had no difficulty getting served. Now, I'm a little diddy man, of course, but, strutting through, cutting through the crowds, heading to the bar, parting all the merriment like I'm parting the Red Sea. No, it wasn't hard to get served at all. There's so many boozers in town now. You're spoilt for choice. So all the party goers, there's lots of places for them to be. But good atmosphere. Anyway, a company called, let's get this right, Rocks. not Bolocks, Rorocks make these, and they call themselves alternative fashion, but they specialise in men and women's Hussar style jackets. Not just this style, so obviously you've got the jackets and you've got the vest version, but you've got them in white, you've got them in green, you've got them in blue, and just lots of variations with different sort of patterns of the buttonage and the epaulettes and all the chevrons and all the actual embroidery, the brocadery, is that what you call it? All this gold stuff. And I'm going to put it on, of course I am. So you can get the jackets, you can get the vest. Oh, here we go. And they do appear, although they're not tailored for you. This is a medium. I mean, I'm a chunkier dude than I used to be, but in the wrong places, I hasten to add. But, you know, you put this on, you fasten your buttons, and I sincerely hope that I don't wreck this now. You know what I'm like on camera, Captain Gammy Hand. You just do a few of the buttons at the bottom there, like that, like so. Yeah, where are we going? There we go. Which tucks it in, cinches it in, and of course, because it's, look at that now, look like you've got massive Arnie pecs. Look at that, it's great. And of course, the guns are out, and you can wear whatever bling you want. I mean, Adamant really made this. As I say, Jimi Hendrix wore it on stage a lot, the full sleeves, but put like handkerchiefs and sashes and ribbons on it. And obviously Adamant did the same sort of thing. He accessorised, and he played the Highwayman, he played Prince Charming. He had a white waistcoat version at one stage, but he tended to wear the jacket version of this. And as I say, oh, he loves it, oh he does. And of course you've got your lovely stiff neck, which is actually, you know, if you tighten them up, that's not going to go around my jowls, is it? So that's never going to happen. I can button the whole thing up, but that would be big balloon head. So I wear it like this, like so. You can see all this lovely stitching. It's lovely. It's real top quality as well. You know, there's one pocket in it, one pocket in here, and it's a good sized pocket, to be honest, because I can put my mobile phone in there. My earphones hang into my ears. Obviously, that's where you tend to put them, isn't it? And you know, all my other doobies were fitting in there. So it was like travelling light. You know, no need of belts with pouches. I tend to wear belts with tactical pouches on them because I don't wear the sporran when I go out and about, unless it's a really special occasion, because the sporran is a pain in the groin. It's a useless bit of kit. Looks brilliant and people expect to see it. So you do get comments when you're wearing your kilt, and you go like, and they go, oh, I love the kilt, but I'm giving them Scottish accents. Most people who comment on it don't tend to be Scottish. You know, hey mate, where's your sporran? Should be wearing a fucking sporran, shouldn't you? Fucking, that's not fucking proper, is it then? That's not traditional. And then I raise the kilt and go, I am traditional, trust me. But the sporran, as good as it looks, and I've got two of them with lovely ornate tassels and all that, and lovely, well, fair. And but you can't fit your mobile phone in it, and it slams against your groin and all that. And they look great, but they're not practical in the least. Pouches on your belt, you put all your bits and bobs in there. It kind of look like you're on some kind of mission, and it works. But anyway, this, no covert mission wearing this though, is there? You're gleaming. You know, you are the centre of attention. Now, it made me think that it's funny how up until the Boer War, when camouflage first came in for the British Army, certainly, because they learnt their lesson about wearing red tunics and white pith helmets in these far-flung lands, you know, when we were trying to colonise the world. And we're getting picked off left, right and centre. Why? Because your bright red tunics are signposting you, and your bright white helmets. So they used to pour tea or coffee or piss on the helmets to darken them. But the red tunics stayed for a good long time. Do you know why they wore red tunics? And it was because when the British Army back in those days was abroad, that was their de rigueur uniform for being overseas, the red tunic. So it wasn't part of like, you know, any kind of strategic thing trying to impress, you know, the bad guys, frighten them, or like not to show blood. That was a little side thing. they did talk about that. The red tunic, you wouldn't see wounds on people so overtly. But the Boer War, the Boers looked like the land. They wore khaki, they wore browns, they wore beige. They blended in with the scenery, and the British Army learnt that. So they adopted the khaki uniform from that point onwards. And of course nowadays, the idea of going into combat, you don't want to be seen at all, do you? It's all camouflage. Of course it is, tactical camouflage. So, and it has been for, a century now. But back in these days, no, you put your finery on, you polished it, you buffed it all up. I'm like, where are you going? Dear, you look fantastic this morning. Where are you? You're going somewhere special? I'm off to war. Oh, jolly good. Have a good war then. And they'd be all like brocades of gold and finery and like medals of plenty, and gleaming helmet badges and all this emblazoned upon them. Really obvious. But then again, so were the bad guys, the enemy. You're fighting the French, the Spanish. They look just as ridiculously ornate as you did. So it's a battle of I look better than you. A battle of flamboyance. And I love it. I just think it's great. It was an age of pageantry, almost carnivalesque, and a lot of officers would outdo each other because they'd have more ribbons and braid than the next guy. They might not outrank that guy, but I'm going to look better than you on the battlefield. And you've got to remember, these guys led their troops from the front. So a lot of these officers, they not like today, where the hoi polloi are way back in the head shed. These guys would go out on the front lines into battle and often die beside the rank and file. So they earn respect. They look bloody dapper as well, But and the thing is, even the American Civil War, which everyone thinks as being like, oh, it's just blue versus grey. Oh, the Union wore blue, Confederacy wore grey. No. The Civil War, the American Civil War, was actually a real age of, again, flamboyance. A lot of Unionists wore grey uniforms. A lot of Confederates wore blue uniforms. But you had all sorts of other, like this. Dragoons had lots of braid all over the place. Big shiny epaulets, lots of tassels hanging down. They were they were called, Buford. General Buford. Where you going this morning? I'm off to fight them Yankees, I'm going to put my best bib and tucker on. And again, be buffed and shiny. There'd be like little tassels hanging off their cavalry Stetsons, big badges emblazoned everywhere. And it was a time, again, they took pride. I may die today, my dear, but I don't give a damn. I may die today, but I'm going to look bloody good as I bleed out. Cheers, y'all. And that kind of makes sense now. Jack Daniels. Also, American Civil War, you had the Zouaves. The Zouaves were infantry, elite infantry regiments on both the north and the south. And they based themselves on the French, North African soldiery, Algiers and Morocco. And these guys look ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Obviously, we're losing the day. Send in the clowns. And the Zouaves would line up and march into battle. These guys, right, now they may not be French. Some of them probably were, but the American infantries on both sides model themselves on the Zouaves. And the Zouaves wore ridiculous waistcoats, tunics, vests, big billowy shirts, reds, purples, gold, sashes. They wore a fez. Some of them wore fezzes. Some of them wore them sort of like big chef's hats, big floppy chef's hats with feathers and things adorning them. They looked ridiculous. And some of them wore those Arabian shoes, with the big curly toes that go whoa and curl around again. And they went into battle like that. What? Like with big baggy pantaloon trousers, often red or purple, scarlet. No covert guerrilla, camouflage there. We're going into battle. We're prancing into battle. And you can imagine them waltzing up, to the enemy. Because the Zouaves fought on both sides. You had Confederate Zouaves, you had Northern Zouaves. And imagine them going into battle and confronting each other. You there. My God, My God, sir, those pantaloons, I like them. Where did you get them? Yes. Why are we fighting? Shake hands. You know, it wouldn't be a war. It'd be like a fucking prance off, wouldn't it? Whisker trailage and all this, you know, with these big silly keppies and fucking all sorts on, like fezzes. So it's funny how war made people finally realise, they shot me, they stabbed me, they found me when I was hiding behind the bushes. How did they do that? Because you're shining like a fucking beacon, that's why. Because you're wearing this sort of thing. But I do love this. You know, I don't want to be wearing it every single day, which I'm tempted to do because he's wearing his stupid thing. It's adamant thing, you know. And a lot of adamant comments got made, obviously. Stand and Deliver and Prince Charming, which he doesn't wear this in Prince Charming video. But anyway. And Pete, who runs my local, The Cask, Pete and Avril, his missus, they own The Cask. But Pete, when he saw this the first time, he was going like he has a really dry, deadpan sense of humour, but he's also a bit of an idiot at the same time. No, he's not. He's great, but you've got to understand his wavelength, and not many people do. Some people really get rubbed up the wrong way by his attitude. He's not being nasty. He's just being himself. Nasty, and he said George Michael. Oh, fuck. George Michael didn't wear this. You know, it's adamant. You know, and that didn't register. So from that point onwards, he's making little George Michael snipes at me. You know, careless whispers. So I went, oh, you mean like Last Christmas? Eh? And he didn't get it. He didn't seem to realise that Last Christmas was a song by George Michael and Wham, obviously. And he was like, why, what happened last Christmas? It's like, fucking hell. I'm playing you at your own game and you still don't get it. But anyway, it is what it is. So, folks, I wanted to show you this because, yeah, I think it's fucking great. Now, I'm not saying that you guys, you know, I recommend this, go and get it. Most of you, 99.99% of you guys watching this are not going to buy this. And even you, the few girls out there, and you can buy the female version as well, you're not going to do it. I know you're not going to do it. But then again, I've been doing videos for, God, a number of years now, wearing kilts. And none of you have gone out and bought a kilt, have you? No. I bet a few secretly have. I bet a few have done so. And cheers to those few that have. So I'm playing Captain Kronos Vampire Hunter, The Score by Laurie Johnson. And let's get the main titles. Because Captain Kronos, there is a poster over there for Captain Kronos. He wears a cavalry tunic and jacket. Although it's not quite Hussars, but it's not far off it. Oh, what I should say is, Hussars used to wear what they called a pelisse over their shoulder, which could be which in often case was a light tunic. So the sleeve tunic, be over their shoulder like that. So as they're riding off, you know, huzzaring. It was to hopefully protect against sword thrusts. It wasn't gonna defend you at all. It had to be fucking stab proof, made out of Kevlar. So it wasn't gonna wear. But it also looked good, the sort of hanging off the shoulder number, and a pelisse, and it became a female fashion accessory as well, like a shawl draped over the shoulder. Now you guys know that the great kilt, the proper great kilts, which can run up to 30 yards and can run even beyond that. You roll yourself into it, the proper old traditional great kilt, and you roll into it, put it right yourself, and you throw the excess over your shoulder, and off you go. And but I've got two great kilts, but they are unwearable. They are too big, too ridiculous. Even I, says me, even I won't go out wearing those. They're nice to have, but they're pretty pointless to actually try to strut about in. Because you can make a bivvy out of it, you can make a tent out of it. That's the whole point of it. You can live in these things. But the offshoot of that, which looks like it, is the over-shoulder plaid fly, as it's called, and I've got several of those. It has to match your kilt, the tartan you're wearing, and it's a separate garment, and it goes over your shoulder, and it hangs down with tassels, and it's gorgeous. And I wear those quite a lot. So in theory, I could put one of those on, and be a Highland Hussar, and it would work pretty well, I think. So somewhere up there, or maybe down there, or maybe off to the sides, is my old man, and I think he'd be proud of this, because he used to wear this stuff as well. They used to go to a lot of parties, my mum and dad, and my dad would dress up as, like, you know, the desert rat, or like a British commando from the Second World War, or he'd wear Napoleonic gear with Napoleon's stupid bloody big silly hat. You know, he'd wear these things, and of course, that's where I get it from. So I think he'll be made up with this. And I should say again, the quality of this is outstanding. This has weight to it. It's comfortable. You know, the stability, durability, and these are just gorgeous. There's not a loose stitching. The buttons are on pretty good. I know, because I've done it so many times with tunics and other, you know, jackets that I'm a bit clumsy and the button will come off. This comes with one spare button. One spare button. I have a feeling I'll need many, many more. But as I say, you can wear it cinched up like that. Look at that. I mean, look. I've got like big busties. But I think that's great. I think it really, really works. And also unbuttoned. So if I'm wearing the belt with and I've got the pouches on, you wouldn't get this over it. It's as simple as that. So wear it open. And let's do that. Let's do that, shall we? Let's open it. Now, Chris Hemsworth wears it with nothing underneath. I'm not going to do that right now because, well, I'm not, because I'm not. And so, yeah, you know, you've still got that shape to it. You've still got that cut. It's like it molds itself to you. I love it. Oh, God. I'm going to go out on it again today. Damn it. Of course I am. General Buford T. Flamboyance here. At your service, ma'am. You know, just come back from the second bull run. So, folks, Row Rocks, if you're interested, do have a website. And you can probably get them on eBay and Etsy and fucking Amazon and all sorts of other outlets. But if you're into this sort of thing at all, or you're going to do it, this cost me, how much it cost me? 65 English pounds, 65 of the English, and but you know, for me, this is money well spent. I'd have paid 100 for this easily. Oh, I shouldn't tell them that, should I? I'll put a link below. You know, show a bit of commitment and devotion. Give them credit where it's due. And yeah. So what you need now is your war paint, because Adamant's, like what I do, and again I've probably got it from him, influenced by him. He wore like a British Hussar's tunic or jacket. He had, you know, Native American war paint. He had feathers in his hair. He had all gypsy bling on him as well. It was anything to look bohemian and avant-garde, be flamboyant. Leather kecks, buccaneer boots, which I've got. A tricorn hat, which I've got. You know, so it's, I'm a walking mashup of different, you know, military cultures and different, you know, renegade styles. And I love being like that. It's eccentric, it's flamboyant, you know, and I just loves it. I does. It's a good talking point. What I will never do is go with the flow, where I've never done this. Never worn what, you know, all the scallies are wearing, all the kids are wearing. You know, even when I was a kid, I didn't wear what everyone else was wearing. I wore military combat gear to school. You're meant to wear black pants, black trousers, but me and my mates, we wore black canvas jeans. Remember back in the early 80s, they were big black canvas jeans. Oh God, with really fantastic, really Art Deco designer labels, you know, on the arse pocket and all that. So you had to put your blazer down over it, and they were always like drain pipes as well. We weren't allowed to wear white socks either. So of course, what did we wear? White fucking socks, didn't we? Black shoes, which again, I'd wear like suede winkle pickers. You couldn't wear that. I know to a lot of you guys, you're going, we wore what we want to school. You know, no one ever challenged us. No, back in my day, there were strict fucking rules. And I've told this story before. at one stage I had very short hair, top and the sides, but I'd grown 2 pigtails down the back, and it was based on the band Kajagoogoo. I think Martin Gore had that. Was it Martin Gore? I can't remember the fucking name now, the guy, like. But I had 2 of these, and I used to hide them down the back of my blazer collar. But Mr. A. Smith, he was our deputy headmaster, but our house schoolmaster for Faraday House, and going into the huts one day, we had annexes for, you know, the laboratories were there for chemistry and biology and some other biologies and Scientology. And as you're going in, me mate AB, Graham Abraham, he ran his finger, he must have just sussed it, something must have caught his eye in the gleam of the sunlight, and he went, "Macanini, here." And he ran his little finger down the back of my blazer collar, and he hooked out one of my pigtails, which went, you know, down my back. And he found the other one as well, which was on the other side. What are these? And to this day, it puzzles me why AB said this. He said, "What are these then?" And AB went, "They're his rib ticklers, sir." I'm going to look at him, what the fuck is that supposed to be? Well, he went, "Not anymore." Pulled me into the annex hut, buying me pigtails, opened the drawer, took out a pair of scissors and cut them both off, folded them up, put them in my blazer pocket. There you go. Never want to see them again. That's assault. Imagine him doing that to someone now. Oh my God, the uproar would be just... there'd be protests outside the school. They'd be threatening to burn the place down. He'd be dragged out of the place, you know, by his own hair. You know, But when you're a kid, as traumatic, it took me fucking months to grow them. For Christ's sake, you know, you bastard. But you still laughed it off. One of the great things about school days is the us against them mentality, which I think schools need to have that. It's not an unhealthy thing at all. You know, you got your little, you and your little cluster of mates, you know, and you get away with murder. You don't do your homework. You know, you bunk off school. You do this, you do that. You're always in trouble. I was always in trouble. I had detention every single day for 2 years, every single day. Even on days when I wasn't even there, I still reported to the headmaster's office and sat outside for 20 minutes at the end of each day. I hadn't even been in that day. You know, it was just so regular and routine. But it built a camaraderie amongst your mates, and that goes through all your life, unless you're, you know, rich and, you know, you're the elite, you know, you wouldn't fucking understand it, because in that case, if you're the elite, you're the ones that we're against. We're the us and you're the them. So, but the workplace, be it office, be it the military, you bond over adversity and like being downtrodden. You bond together and you collectively you get over it and you help each other. That's how it works. That's a good thing. That's a good healthy thing to have. The us against them. Obviously you can go to ludicrous extremes, but I'm not preaching that at all. But it builds up self-confidence and also a team ethic. And people don't realise that. In the military, you want people to work as an individual and part of a unit and a team. You need that. So you need that, and the military does foster this in you. You know, you have that seething resentment through training and getting beasted left, right and centre. You help each other out, you know. And that's how it works. And the office has the same mentality. You know, the middle managers, those wank shafts, you know, we all know who they are. In every walk of life, you've got middle managers. Often, the big bosses are not trouble at all. You barely ever see them, and they don't really want to concern themselves with the day-to-day running of a place. You know, they just come in once in a while, give a little chat, a motivational bit of spiel about, you know, we've broken this record and that record, and the profits are up, blah, 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 blah. So, my profits are up, but you're not getting a pay rise. Ha 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 ha, where's my cigar? You know, and off they go. But it's the middle managers, the ones who are there day by day by day, breathing down your necks, because they want to get promoted again, and they've got an axe to grind. In the military, it's corporals. I've always said this. Your sergeants and your officers are actually, by and large, are great. Your corporals are bastards. They want that extra stripe, so they've got a lot to prove. So they're the ones that really go all out to fucking thrash you all the time. And I've known many of them, and they've all been in the same ilk. They want that extra strength. Want to become a sergeant, so absolutely, really, really boss. They're great guys. Never met a bad one yet, never. Oh yeah, I have, but he was a policeman, and that's a different story altogether. Cheers, y'all. So, I wanted to show you this. The big review is definitely coming. Whether it happens today or not, I really couldn't say. But right now, it is pissing down in a very seasonable fashion. It's really, really grim grey. It's not cold at all. We don't get a cold winter in this country. Well, okay, the temperature drops down in January and February, and you get storms, just craziness. But winter, December, which everyone thinks, oh, December, oh, Christmas, snow, oh, blizzards, cold. It's not. It is not. I've been going out to work every day in just a vest. You know, it's not cold. It's totally not cold. Oh, I'm getting so irate about it. It's not cold, I tell you. But it was, all these Nash motherfuckers like, oh, God, temperature, it's 11 degrees, but it says it feels like -1. Oh, bollocks, it does. It feels like fucking tropical, as far as I'm concerned. Yeah, it'll change. But, so, because it's mild, you get rain. Oh, a white Christmas, not in this fucking country, you know. You used to, the way I remember it. When I was in my dad's house, you know, with all the military paraphernalia everywhere, suddenly you break out the German Alpine gear, right? Right, we're going to reenact Where Eagles Dare. He was like that. We'd sit and watch the movies, you know, on Betamax back in those days. And we wear the fucking gear. So it'd be boss, me and my dad, and we'd have like fucking schmeisers and all that, like, all deactivated. Don't get all aerated about it. And we'd sit there and be like, watching Zulu and the Zulu Dawn in our red tunics and those helmets with our Martini Henry rifles. Oh, it was bliss. What a way to grow up. And it didn't fuck with my head, did it? Let's get the main titles of Captain Kronos and turn it up. Because this is one of the most bounding ebullience of main things. For a horror movie, a vampire horror movie, and you get this because he's a hero. Captain Kronos, Greek for time. I've reviewed this movie. You all know this movie. It's pure galloping, isn't it? Caroline Munro. And he finds her in the stocks. Carla the gypsy girl. Her crime's dancing, you know. It's comical at the same time as well, I find. The film's very tongue-in-cheek. Brian Clemens made the movie. A bit experimental and revolutionary for Hammer. But Hammer had to change their way because in the 70s they couldn't compete with the big league like Warner and 20th Century Fox, like the likes of The Omen and The Exorcist, big budget horror movies, and they would do their little quaint gothic ones, like the giant bullfrog, you know, sitting there croaking away. But Captain Kronos, really, it could well be my favourite Hammer movie of all time. You've got plenty of violence, plenty of bloodletting. It combines spaghetti western tropes with Captain Kronos wearing gear like this, traps for vampires, and the vampires are a unique new twist. They don't drink blood, they drain the life force out of their victims to retain their youth. That was clever. Fucking love it. Oh, I'm gonna go out on this again. Can you get the horses ready, please? The horses! I'll take 2. And I'll ride 1 foot on either of them. Like that. Down the road. Pub's here. Stop! That's the Mersey! Oh! Right, folks. Inane Waffle is the name of the game, as far as I'm concerned. I will be back with it's Race with the Devil. Yes, you guys know what the film is. It's Race with the Devil, and I will be covering that in depth. It's going to get the full-on Kilted treatment. It's a film I've been asked to review right from the word go. I started doing this channel. I got asked to do this right from the word go, and I've promised every single time, oh yeah, I'll do it, because I've always meant to. And again, because I hinted at it this week, oh, it'll be a race with that. Well, you know, it's a film about the occult, and you best push the pedal to the metal, step on the gas, because like Satan himself is hot on your heels. You know, everyone race with the devil. I was like, shit, darn it. But I've always meant to cover it because it's such a great favourite, which I encountered on TV back when I was a kid, and I thought, wow. And of course, it's made by Jack Starrett, actor, stuntman, filmmaker, but we know him best of all for playing Galt in First Blood. But he's a good actor as well, and he makes an appearance in this. Oh, we're going to talk about that later, so don't worry about that. And if you haven't seen Race with the Devil, go and watch it now. Go watch it, go find it, go watch it, and then we can talk at length, spoilerific, you know. So, I'll have one more swig of this, and then we'll say our hurrahs. Cheers. And let me just say that if I found Caroline Munro locked in the stocks, I don't think I'd free her straight away, if you know what I mean. Anyway, I'm out of here. Folks, I have been always having Kilt-Man. Please, in the meantime, this ever decorative, flamboyant huzzah in between time. Please, keep it kilted, keep it Celtic. I'm going to see you all. And I was wearing the Hunting MacLeod. I just realised this looks identical in looking at the frame, the camera right now. Looks identical to the ancient Mackenzie. Trust me, in proper light, it looks nothing like it at all. This is the Hunting MacLeod. Anyway, please be festive. If you're gonna go out, have fun. Don't put it off. Don't just oh it's raining. Oh, I'm not gonna go out. No, go out. Have fun. Go to your pubs, your restaurants. They've all got Christmas trees up. They've all got lights and baubles. Nothing that outshines any of this clobber, of course. But it's nice. You got that feel is there. Trust me, I know. It wasn't the other week, but it's there this week, and it's going to get better and better. I've got 1 week left in work, and then it's 2 weeks off, all over Christmas and New Year. So, yeah. Lots of videos. Lots of pubs. Take it easy. Ho, ho, ho.